What's going on, YouTube? Courtside with Jerome, and today we're going to review the games for March 17, 2021. 10 games on the bracket. I haven't been making a video for the last couple of days. Been busy with work, and we're trying to get better, but, it's a little improvement. New to the channel, smash that like button, turn on notification. Not only helps me, helps the channel. That being said, DJ, drop that intro.
Shade on me, like they all hate on me. Don't bring that rage on me.
Toronto Raptors against the Detroit Pistons. Good news, Raptors fans. Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet are back in the lineup, and they're going against Saddiq Bey, who, by the way, statistics for you, leads all rookies in three-pointers. And there was a very close game all the way to the bitter end, but what got Detroit and what helped them a lot was the first quarter. They put up 37 points in the first quarter. But Norman Powell came to play. He was huge. He was a monster. Even though Siakam and Fred VanVleet, they struggled, Norman Powell was there with 43 points. 13 for 18 from the field and 8 for 12 from 3. He was in fuego. He was on fire. And the Raptors, they could have won this game if they rebounded more, but down the stretch, Josh Jackson, a player who we've been hoping to break out and play like the number 4 overall draft pick, he hit a three-pointer, but on the very next play, he gave it back and fouled Norman Powell, who made the three-pointer, but he missed the free throw. No. Jeremy Grant hit a jumper late. Pistons win 116-112. Saddiq Bey, the rookie, had 28 points, 12 rebounds. Jeremy Grant had 23 points on 7 for 16 shooting. But the Raptors had 43 points, and I think that is a career high. I'm not sure for Norman Powell. I don't think he ever hit 40. Kyle Lowry had 8 points, 15 assists, but Siakam and VanVleet, they combined for 25 points on 5 for 24 shooting. They lost by 4 points. And, you lose by 4 points and 2 of your top guys struggle, and that's their first game back. I mean, it's a sign of encouragement. They got to work out the rust and everything. But Pistons get a well-needed win here at home. Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers. Caris LeVert, first time playing against his old team. And a quote from Steve Nash before the game was, "We're really proud that Caris is returning to play here. And he's incredibly well-loved in this organization, a world-class human being, and a terrific basketball player. There's no doubt everyone here is rooting for him." And that just lets you know the level of respect that, Caris LeVert, got with the organization, how much he made an impact on the organization, and I'm sure they're going to miss him. So, back to the game. The Brooklyn Nets, no Kyrie Irving, no KD. And Indiana got out to a hot start. They had 40, that's right, count them, 40 points in the first quarter. And Domantas Sabonis, 14 points on 6 for 8 shooting. And, he was a monster out there. DJ couldn't handle Sabonis, but they couldn't hang on to it. They couldn't keep the momentum. And the Brooklyn Nets, they just kept it close, And then, to the fourth quarter, your closer, James Harden, went off for 14 points on 5 for 11 shooting with 6 rebounds and 4 assists in just the in the fourth quarter. That is. That mean he was scoring and getting everybody involved. Like, he was just doing his thing. And that helped Brooklyn win 124-115. If Brooklyn could put up 124 points with no KD and no Kyrie and still win, even if they lost this game, that would have still been, huge, And James Harden had a triple-double, 40 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists, and 2 steals. Sabonis, after the first quarter, only scored 4 points, but he had a triple-double also, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists, and 4 steals and a block. So he's showing everybody why he's an all-star. And he's, again, come one of the most underrated players in the league. Like, nobody gives Sabonis credit. He run the floor. He's a big man. He can stretch the floor. He can rebound. He just is like the perfect center, outside of Joel Embiid. Bucks 76ers. We just got news today that PJ Tucker is heading to Milwaukee. And in my opinion, he'll be a huge addition for the team. But tonight, the Bucks didn't need defense. They needed offense. In the first half, listen to this. Giannis, the reigning MVP, was getting hounded by Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons was with Giannis step for step. And Giannis was just 1 for 4 for the half. The Bucks missed 16 of their 17 3-pointers in the opening half and 33 of 45 shots overall. They only had 31 points in the first half with 13 turnovers. They just could not get into no kind of rhythm. It was just sad to watch. Like, the lid was on the ball, or it was on the hoop. Basketball guys would sleep on them. But Tobias Harris was on fire. He had 10 points at the half, but Milwaukee, they became monsters like they do in the third quarter. They had a 34-point quarter. Giannis had 9 points, 6 rebounds in the third quarter alone. And he had some friends to come along for the ride. He didn't come by himself. Dante DiVincenzo had 10 points on 4 for 5 shooting. Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton had a combined 14 points. And Milwaukee came down from a 19-point deficit, and they was ahead 91-84. On Jrue Holiday's 3, who hit a game winner earlier this season. And with less than a minute left, he nailed a 3. And Chris Middleton hit a layup with 3 seconds left. And Furkan Korkmaz for the second. Now, this is when it comes back and forth, because Korkmaz from the Sixers, he hit a 3 with, literally half a second left. And they sent the game overtime. Come on, you got to play defense, guys, But Greek Freak said, don't worry about it. Get on my back and I'll carry you. And he scored 10 points in overtime, and the Bucks win 109-105. Close game. Greek Freak, 32 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists, but he had 6 turnovers. Jrue Holiday, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals as the Milwaukee Bucks win. Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs on a 4-game losing streak. They desperately need a win here. And Boston they came out flat at first. They just wasn't getting it. They couldn't get into a rhythm. They shot 37% from the field as a team, 3 for 15 for 3. And they only got measly 38 points. With 2 All-Stars on your team, you only got 38 points. This is just not the same Boston team that we've been conditioned to seeing. That from the last couple of seasons, the one that was challenging LeBron. Jaylen Brown took a step up this season, but he's been inconsistent, and when he struggles, he struggles and it brings the team down. But Colin Sexton, 14 points at the half, and in my opinion, he had a very strong chance to be an All-Star, He started getting on notice when he played against Brooklyn. He dropped 40 on Kyrie. And he has improved dramatically from his rookie season. But second half, it was all Boston. They had 72 points combined for the third and fourth quarter. And they was trying to win this game. Jaylen Brown had 13 points on 5 for 8 shooting. And the Celtics, they shot 52%. They had a 15% increase from the first half to the second half. But they only shot 30% from 3. And, when you're shooting that low and your shot ain't going in for 3, you got to trade on 3s and for 2s. Get to the line. Get some easy baskets. But later on in the 4, Colin Sexton took over. He had a 3-point play. And then they put Cleveland up by 12. And Cleveland was able to hold off and win 117-110. Colin Sexton, 29 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 for 20 from the field. Darius Garland, 25 points, 9 for 16 from the field. Larry Nance Jr. had a strong game, 18 points, 10 rebounds, double-double. And for Boston, this puts them at 500, 20-20. They're the 7th seed. Jason Tatum, 29 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Jaylen Brown, 28 points, 11 for 26 from the field. And Boston, you can't keep depending on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown to win games. Somebody's got to be a third scorer and step up for them. Or you guys going to be in trouble come playoff time. Bulls, Spurs. Now we know the Spurs are, they lost LaMarcus Aldridge. They lost DeMar DeRozan. So in order to win games now, they're going to need contributions from everybody. And they got it tonight. Spurs had 6 players in double figures. They was feeding everybody. Everybody was eating today. The Bulls, they came off hot. They had 31 points in the first quarter, and they even had a 23-point lead. But in the fourth quarter, the Spurs, they put up those 39 points, and they held Chicago to 19 points. Patty Mills, DeJounte Murray, and Derek White combined for 29 points. Those 3 players outscored the entire Bulls bench in the fourth quarter. Zach LaVine had 10 points in the fourth quarter, but he couldn't do enough. Spurs win 106-99. Jakob Poeltl, 20 points, 16 rebounds. DeJounte Murray, Derek White combined for 31 points. And for the Bulls, Zach LaVine, who did drop 40 on his last game, only could get 29 points. Thaddeus Young, congratulations to him. His 1,000 NBA game, 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. Golden State Warriors, Houston Rockets. This is going to be kind of short. This game's over with at halftime. Houston Rockets, because it was the Houston Rockets. That's why that was down. The Warriors had 68 points at the half, while the Rockets only had 44 points, shooting 38% from the field. Steph Curry struggled. Not winning his finals games. He's going 3. I'm sorry, from 3. He was struggling from 3, going 2 for 11. And Houston didn't put up a fight to the third quarter. Daniel House had 7 points in the third quarter, but I think Draymond Green must have drunk some of Steph Curry's Gatorade because he was a beast tonight. Draymond Green was the best player on the floor tonight. Let me say that again. Draymond Green, Mr. Triple Single himself, as Charles Barkley would say, was the best player on the floor tonight. He had a triple double. The Warriors had 4 players score over 15 points. And the Rockets, they had some guys that had a good game too. Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood. But the Warriors win 108-94. Draymond Green, 17 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, 7 for 8 from the field. Steph Curry, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 for 18 from the field. And for the Rockets, Kevin Porter Jr., 25 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, 9 for 18 from the field. And Christian Wood, 21 points and 9 rebounds. So, good game from some guys on the Rockets, even in the loss. Charlotte Hornets against my Denver Nuggets. My man, Michael Porter Jr. went off for 28 points, 13 rebounds in the Denver Nuggets 129-104 win over the Hornets. We got us a W. Jokic was doing Jokic things. Triple-double. The best passing big man in the league. And LaMelo Ball was quiet. Only 14 points, 2 rebounds, and assists. My Denver Nuggets win the 7 out of 8 games. And this game was over into the third quarter. We put up 38 points. But Denver wins 129-104 as we are constantly coming up. And we're challenging Lakers, Clippers, Mavericks, everybody. Anybody can want to smoke, they can get it because we ain't scared of nobody. We going for the championship this year. Miami Heat, Memphis Grizzlies. Ja Morant, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Memphis barely hang on to the 89-85 win over Miami. And it was just a sloppy game, man. It was boring. It was sloppy. I just didn't care for it. Both teams shot less than 40% from the field in the half. But Jimmy Butler had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 10 for 20 from the field. But he had no help. And right now, for the Miami Heat, it's a desperation mode. And they was on a 5-game winning streak, but they lost it. And, they're over 500, but they got to keep going back on more streak games. They got to keep going back on more 5-game winning streaks to build themselves up and get a higher seed in the playoffs. But I think Miami, they have some kind of leeway because they have been injured and they had a lot of players out for COVID testing. So they deserve some kind of, excuse. But I just want them being defending Eastern Conference champions to at least have an opportunity to defend their crown. Even if they get knocked out in the first round, you got to defend the crown, man. You got to defend your conference championship, though. So good luck to Miami. Hoping that they can recover, do better, win some more games. They was on the right track. I mean, it's just one loss. You won so you 5-1 your last 6. Not a big deal. That's pretty good. That will help you. So Miami, just keep it up. Clippers, Mavs. Luka Doncic went crazy tonight. He was insane. 42 points, 6 rebounds, 9 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. And a partridge and a pear tree. What couldn't this man do? I mean, he got me up here stuttering. Like, he did everything. At 16 for 28 from the field, 6 from 11 from 3, and 42 minutes. This man could not be stopped. Kawhi, Paul George, they're going to have a field day on y'all tomorrow when they come out. They're going to question y'all defensive capabilities now. They're going to say that y'all not defensive players y'all used to be no more. Paul George, speaking of Paul George, he had a great game. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Kawhi Leonard, not his best night, but we know how good Kawhi can be. 9 for 21 for 20 points. The Clippers, though, they've been inconsistent this season, man. They've been on and off. I just don't think the Paul George, Kawhi Leonard thing is going to work. If they don't get a championship, it's just this season it's not going to work anymore. But we'll see what they can do at the trade deadline. They do need a real point guard because Pat Beverly is not the answer. Reggie Jackson is solid, but he is not a championship. He's not a guy going to push the meter for your team to go to a championship. Mavericks win 105-89. Luka Doncic is showing that he is still a problem out here in these streets, and he's going to be MVP. Maybe he'll get it this season, with a late season surge, but we'll see. I want to thank you guys for watching my video. It's been a tough couple of days for me watching because, watching the games, and I've been behind on my highlights and everything, but I'm trying to, go on camera, get a green screen, microphone, and fix the game. I'm trying to make it better. I'm also trying to get tips from other YouTubers on how to make a better podcast. So, any like and subscribe would be so appreciated. I'll make another video tomorrow. This is Courtside with Jerome. You guys have a good night. Peace.